to the Thai Expat Daily Show. We are a new commentary news channel, bringing you all the latest stories from Thailand and beyond. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to receive more updates on new content. So let's get into today's top stories. Well, hello there again. We are looking at two stories today. Well, one story and to follow up on basically what we've been talking about during the week in relation to vaccinations for expats here in the Kingdom of Thailand. And we'll also be touching on how to get a yellow book and one of those pink ID cards and the procedures to do it. So early this morning or yesterday afternoon, it was reported the following: Thais, not foreigners, get jab priority. Thai people will always be given priority for COVID-19 vaccines, the Ministry of Public Health said yesterday, denying reports that some expats living in the kingdom would also be allowed to register for free jabs. The ministry said while the government wanted to take care of everyone living here, it had no plans to give free vaccines to expats due to a very limited vaccine stocks, so Thai people would be the first to get it. The vaccines right now are only reserved for Thai people who are now at a high risk or living in the severe outbreak areas, said spokesman Rungwang Kitpati. They, expats, should wait for a clear policy from the government. In the future, the country will provide more alternatives for vaccines so they could have a chance of getting it. Please don't worry. There will soon be a surplus of vaccines, so it will not be difficult to get them. On Monday, some expats announced on social media that they had successfully registered to get the vaccine via the More Prom line application. Joe Cummings wrote on Twitter that he had booked to have his vaccination at McCormick Hospital in Chiang Mai in June. However, the ministry was quick to deny that the government had any plans to give free jabs in June and July to foreigners aged 60 with underlying health issues. So far, 1.498 million people in priority groups have been inoculated, including public health officials, frontline workers and people in high-risk areas. So I think that puts to bed the stories for the week in relation to: can foreigners get the vaccine? Can they not? What exactly the deal is? So let's put it straight out there now. There is no vaccines for expats, foreigners, whatever you want to call us, here in Thailand for a long, long time. If Thai people are the priority, then 66 million people are ahead of us. And since they've only have enough vaccines ordered for 50 million people this year, I'm pretty sure we can safely say that we are not on that list. And we won't be for quite a while. Now, we can cry about it, we can complain about it. And yes, it is discrimination. It has racist undertones. It's not correct and it's not right. But as human beings, we need to take care of ourselves and not worry about small-minded idiots in government and what they seem to think that is the policy. We're not interested in what they think anymore, guys. We have to start thinking about ourselves and how we get vaccines. And also how we think about this in the future going forward and our relationship with Thailand. For me, I will travel back home to get the vaccine. I'm not going to wait around for, as I said, idiots in government to tell me when I can get a vaccine here in Thailand. The way I see it is that next year the vaccination rollout has to happen again. This is going to be a yearly thing from what I've read. So I don't think we've any hope of ever getting a vaccine. And to be frank and honest, maybe it's time we all start thinking about leaving this country and leave it to the Thais to look after themselves. Because I just feel at this stage there's not much out there for us. They don't seem to care too much about us. We're always at the back of the list for everything. Even if you're a taxpayer, there's no benefit. So I don't know. But that's just my bit about it today. I don't think we need to harp on too much more about it. Enough has been said. So in case there's anybody who's made reservations, let's be honest, you're probably not going to be getting one. Okay? It's unfortunate. I don't agree with it. I'm sorry, but a 75-year-old expat who's got maybe some underlying conditions definitely should be getting a vaccine before a healthy 18-year-old Thai man. That's common sense. It's the World Health Organization's guidelines. Thailand doesn't want to follow them. That's fair enough. But there needs to be consequences to that for them in the future too. Anyhow, we're not going to harp on too much about that. Okay, we're going to leave this story now because I can't see it changing. And we're going to talk about how foreigners can get the Yellow House book in Thailand. Now, the Yellow House registration book is technically called a Tor Ror 13. To obtain one, you have to apply at your district office in the area where you live, or it's better known as your local ampere. So every district in Thailand has one, and you just go in and you'll have to be honest with you, every ampere has their own kind of regulations. They don't all follow the same rules, documents. So the best thing to do is, and to be honest, some don't even do it. They don't know how to do it. Others don't want to do it, and some are accommodating. So if you go to a place like Phuket or Bangkok, you'll find that they're quite accommodating. But if you go up to areas maybe in the north of the country, they may not. I know of a guy today who his uncle was told that straight out, no, you can't get one, we're not giving you one. He qualifies for one, but this is what you're up against sometimes here. So if you rent the house where you live, the owner of the house must come with you to the office where you file the application. The owner must fill out the application on your behalf, and we will question the owner about why you are living in the house. Kind of odd. Why are you living in the house? As a renter, when applying, you will need to bring the original plus a signed copy of the identity card of the house owner, the standard blue house registration document already issued for the house, your passport, your work permit if you have one, confirmation of your address from Phuket immigration or your local immigration area. If you bought a house and you have a Thai wife, your wife must come with you to the office when you apply. In this case, you will need to bring the original plus a signed copy of your wife's identity card, the house purchasing document, your marriage certificate, your passport, confirmation of your address from immigration. There is no fee for being issued the yellow book, and the process takes about 1 working day to complete. Now, that part about the 1 working day. So I called the Phuket City municipality, and I'll take that back. My wife called and she asked what they needed. So basically what she said was her identity card, house purchasing document, the marriage certificate, my passport, my work permit, the letter from immigration, some photos, I think, an inch by an inch, and it was not 1 working day. So basically what you do is you submit your documents to them, and what happens then is they gives you this sheet, and you need to take this sheet to the police station. They will get you fingerprinted. They will send your prints off to be checked that you're not a criminal. They will send that back to the local ampere, and then in about 2 weeks, when they get that back, the ampere will call you to come back. You then will go back and you have to bring some witnesses of people who know you, Thai people. They will be interviewed. Then you will be interviewed, and if all that goes well, you will be issued your yellow book along with your pink ID card, which is an additional maybe 100 or 150 baht. That's actually the process in the ampere near where I live. As I said, it's different for everyone else. Some people do get it in 1 day, and other places like to drag it out, like the Phuket municipality. So, as I said, it's a handy document to have, I think. But you know, it can come in handy for things like opening a bank account, because you can use it to prove your address. It means you don't need to keep going to immigration to always get this residence certificate. It comes in handy. What I was looking for, and one of the reasons I wanted it, was during the last lockdown in April, I had problems getting onto Phuket Island. And if I had a yellow house book, I could have presented my passport and my house book and clearly showing this is where I live, and it would have been easier to get in because they were only allowing residents. When I did need to go in, I had a plethora of documentation to get in and out, and it was quite painful. But I mean, still could get in, but you know, the yellow book would have been a lot more useful. But there's not a huge amount of reasons to get it. Of course, some people just like to feel like you're cementing yourself into society by having a document issued with your name on it in Thai and your name in Thai on it. So some people like that, others don't. I got it because I wanted to have it for my residence, because my wife, we own a house, well, my wife owns a house, and it's nice to have something with your name on it to show that you live here, and that's important. So yeah, if you want to get it, go to your local ampere. ask them for the list of documents first and make sure you can actually do it. And yeah, that would be really it. So just to let you know for the rest of this week what we've got lined up. Tomorrow we're planning to do a piece on retiring in Thailand and the top 5 places around the world to retire in. Friday I will have an interview with you with James D'Souza, who is the Food and Beverage Director at Tui Blue Khao Lak Resort. Saturday I'm hoping to do a garden tour with David Floresti. He's an avid gardener in the Phuket area, and he's going to take me on a little trip around his garden. And then Sunday we'll be reviewing the week that has just gone by along with the Sunday newspaper. So hope you can join us for all that. Well, that's it for today, and thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel to receive more content in the future. Have a great day and stay safe.